Hello everybody. Greetings from Texas. We are going to do a very quick, short video. I'm hoping it will be for you, but I wanted to cover some of these things real quick before I get started on these rolled flowers. You know, it's winter time for everybody, but I'm thinking about the spring, my favorite time of year, and so I'm trying to do things to think about a little bit warmer weather. I have been doing quilling for a long time, and in one of our secret mystery boxes, right after I got my Cricut Air 2, which was my first Cricut, we got a paper kit, and in it had the perfect tool for quilling. I had no idea about the rolled flowers. And so I thought, oh, I can do some quilling. I can do some quilling. And so I started seeing, when I researched flowers on the Access, and I use Access Premium so I can get that 50% off of our digital, I started seeing these spirals with petals, and they were called flowers. So I did a little research, of course, on YouTube, like we all should do, to learn about our craft. And then I printed many out. As you can see, I have several to be working on. And I did them in all different sizes, very tiny. I know a lot of people are doing the large flowers right now. And they're very easy to do, but I do them while my machine is cutting, while I'm having to wait on something to stay in the area, like I need to change a mat or whatever, but I don't want to leave my Cricut cutting by itself, so I do this while the machine is cutting. Now you can get several of these patterns on one 12 by 12 sheet if you work them around and change them once you tell them to make it. And the glues that I'm using today is going to be the Scotch Create a Permanent Tacky Glue, and I'm using a tip that I use with my silk painting that'll make it a finer tip. I also like Sobo Premium Craft Glue. This is a glue that was recommended to me in college years ago when we were actually doing bookmaking from my printmaking teacher, professor. And it is very, very high quality, no impurities in it. And so that's why I like this one also. But I like this bottle so that I can put that tip on it. Another thing I wanted to mention too, if you like rolling these and you have a Cuttlebug, this is sold by Cricut, where it has the die where you can cut it on your Cuttlebug. I would demonstrate that, but I haven't gotten a Cuttlebug yet. Something tells me in the back of my mind that I need to just wait, because I think, in my mind, the only thing that the Air 2 can't do is embossing, even though it has been done by people if you do the patterns correctly. So I really think that my the Cricut Maker is going to be embossing before long. So I didn't invest in a Cuttlebug just because I don't do a lot of die cuts that I can't do on my Air 2. But let me tell you, if they don't come out with it soon, I'm sure I will, just so I can do these flowers. I got this one while it was on sale, not even knowing really what I was getting. So, but that's what it is. It's the little straight strips, and you can research more into it. Okay? But I wanted to mention it because it is available for those of you that own the Cuttlebug. Okay, let's get started. The smaller ones make this little petal right here, and this is the heart-shaped one. If you look at it, it's got the heart without the tip. And the one we're fixing to do has just a plain petal, which is like this. But this is the size that this one makes. Then this size makes these right here. And it is a little tedious. And I'm going to go ahead and put them out of my way while we work. Not that they're in my way, but I like to keep things in a certain place while I'm working. And before I get started too, I want to make sure I'm still in frame with you. Okay, now this paper tool, rolling tool, has a slit right here. I know y'all can't see it, but even this small safety pin can't fit into it. So it's fairly small, and it's just large enough for the thickness of your paper that you would be using with cardstock. You want to slip that in there like this, take it to the tip, and start rolling. This is the inside, so I'm going to unroll it just a little bit, right about there, and then I'm going to start applying glue right along the bottom edge. Whoa! Well, of course. Okay, I have a solution for that. Hold on. Okay, this is what we will do. We've got a slicky piece of paper. Did not expect that to happen, but you know what I used to use, my students would use when the tip blew off like that? Say, okay, grab a paintbrush. You really need a smaller one than this. Let me look real quick. See if I can find a small of all the paintbrushes that I have. Of course, the one you need, or the one you want, is not there when you need it. Okay, let's try that one. This one is very, very small. Okay, and I'm going to layer it down with some glue and just paint the glue on instead of squeezing it on. Might take me a little bit longer. We said we were going to make a short one. And this is a tacky glue, so as much as I put on, it's still going to remain wet until I get it rolled up on there. You want to try to keep the edge right here flat, because that's what this last piece of the spiral will be covering that. Now, in some of the flowers, when I make them, I actually take my rolling tool out. Oh, I didn't finish telling you, my students I'd make them use a toothpick. If they wanted a fine line, I'd say, okay, squeeze out some glue. And we'd use wax paper just to keep it from soaking into the paper, the glue that is, and then a toothpick, and they'd put it on the end of the toothpick and get that fine line that way. Because you know how it is with students, you can tell them 10,000 times to wash the paintbrush out, especially if you're using glue, and they throw it in the sink when the bell rings. Imagine that happening with 100 and something students every day. Not saying that 100 do it, but if you have 150 students every day, there might be 100 that do it. Okay, it's sticking very nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and pull my tool out and do the rest of it by hand. I will share, I think I saved these where I set it up and changed them to different sizes. And I will share that on my Patreon party. That's Huntress Habits Patreon party on Facebook. And then as a patron, you can join that group and get the file, or you can look them up on Access and get them yourself. This just saves you a little bit of time by going to that file that I've shared with you. If you have trouble anytime doing these, they're really simple, but always feel free to contact me. You can do that at Huntress Habits, both my blog, or should I say my vlog, V-L-O-G page, and there's also Facebook, Google+, all those good social media sites. Or you can just find me on as Patricia Huntress. My name is Patricia, and I'm the Huntress in Huntress Habits. One of them. Okay. By supporting me on Facebook, on Patreon.com, by as little as $1 a month, which is not much, you'll get access to all of these files and many other benefits. And I'm new at this. I really am. But I taught art for about 14 years, 15 years. Taught private before that. Also worked in retail. Mostly retail management. Security, human resources. I've done a lot of things. I own my own business. Before that, my younger days, helped raise 2 girls, my daughters, that I'm very proud of. Okay, we're almost done. Wonder how long this video is going to be, because if I had been squeezing it out, it would have been much quicker. But you really have to find what is therapy for you. And if I had to worry about unclogging that again, or it squirting off and ruining the paper, then it would not have been very therapeutic to be doing this. And that's why I'm doing a lot of the things I do on Cricut. This is my therapy. This is my fun time. And as I learned, why can't I share it with you? I've been doing weeding also. If you go to the Huntress Habits page, you will see where the bright pad helps you so much. I don't know what I'd do without it. Well, I wouldn't be doing the patterns that I'm doing. I'm fixing to start some Zentangles. So I know they're going to be very therapeutic. I love the weeding with the bright pad. Okay, this last little bit I'm going to put quite a bit of glue on it, and the reason being is because it's going to sit up against all these, and we're going to hope that that's what keeps it together forever and ever. Okay, it also covers it up, so we did it fairly tightly. And once it dries, you can spread it out a little bit, spread the petals out. And then in a few days, I'm going to do a video where I incorporate these into a project. See how many I get done first before I tell you when I'm going to do it. Okay, that's it, guys. I hope you learned how to do those and wondered what all those were. I know the large flowers are real popular right now, but these little tiny ones are good to put in frames, put on projects. And this tool couldn't be better. It began as a quilling tool with this little slit on the end. And you don't even have to really have this tool. But I recommend it. I really do. They make one in the quilling section at most hobby stores. I've got glue all over it right now. Okay. I will tell you goodbye. Join me on Patreon's party, Facebook, Huntress Habit Patreon party. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye.